Welcome back to Press Review. Let's start as usual by taking a look at today's front pages in the Middle East. Starting in the UAE, the Khalij Times leads reporting that thousands of anti-government protesters began a march to the Pakistani capital Islamabad from the eastern city of Lahore, raising fears about political stability. The paper also reports that Liberia faced an excruciating choice yesterday, deciding which handful of Ebola patients will receive an experimental drug that could prove either life-saving or life-threatening. From Beirut, the Daily Star reports that future MP Jamal Jarrah says talks for free Lebanese soldiers and policemen are faltering due to the difficulty communicating with the militants believed to be holding them. The paper also reports that over 100 years after Lebanese expatriates in Khartoum established the city's first bilingual newspaper, the first milk delivery service, and built some of the capital's most famous architecture, Lebanese are still seeking their fortunes in Sudan. From Saudi Arabia, the Arab News leads reporting that a top economic analyst said that the recent decision by the Capital Market Authority to open the stock exchange is a game changer for Saudi Arabia. The paper also reports that Saudi's King Abdullah held talks with Jordan's King Abdullah in Jeddah yesterday, discussing regional and international issues. The Egypt Independent leads reporting that a police sergeant was shot dead and one person was wounded yesterday when unknown assailants fired at them in Cairo's southern suburb of Helwan. The paper also reports that Alexandria's security chief said security forces dispersed 3 marches by the Muslim Brotherhood and arrested 5 protesters. And now let's take a look at papers in the UK. The Independent leads Middle East News reporting that the Foreign Secretary has confirmed that the UK is likely to grant requests to armed Kurdish fighters in Iraq to push back the terrible threat of the Islamic State. The paper says Philip Hammond's announcement followed David Cameron and Nick Clegg's agreement to support the Kurdish Peshmerga at a Cobra meeting yesterday. The Guardian leads Middle East News reporting that Israel has banned young people from serving with one of its most prominent human rights groups because of its opposition to the war in Gaza. The paper says human rights group Beit Islam, which campaigns against Israeli settlements in the West Bank, was informed on Wednesday night that it has been blacklisted as a civilian alternative to military service. Also from the UK, the Telegraph leads Middle East News reporting that Palestinians have been tweeting advice on how to deal with tear gas to protesters in the American riot-hit city of Ferguson. The paper says that as photos emerge of armed police in riot gear and armored tanks on the streets of St. Louis in Missouri, many Palestinian Twitter users expressed their solidarity with demonstrators. And now let's have a look at top Middle East news in international papers. From Beijing, the Global Times reports that Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki withdrew his nomination for a 3rd term in office and backed the nomination of Haider al-Abadi for the post of Prime Minister. The paper says, according to media reports, Maliki made his decision after a meeting between him and Abadi, with mediation by the country's Vice President Khudair al-Khuzai and the former Prime Minister Ibrahim al-Ja'fari, who is also a leading figure in the powerful Iraqi National Alliance, a major Shiite bloc. And finally, the International New York Times reports that attention has already shifted to the legal battlefield as Israel gears up to defend itself against internal allegations of possible war crimes in the month-long conflict. The paper says the broader struggle will be over what some experts describe as Israel's creative interpretation of international law for dealing with asymmetric warfare in an urban environment. And for more updates, please visit our website levant.tv. Thanks for watching and bye for now.